So I've been complaining about game key cards for quite some time now, and Nintendo basically came out with a survey recently. But let's go ahead and talk about what game key cards are. I mentioned in the past video, basically it is a game that has a game key that's inside the actual cart itself, and when you put it into your system, it downloads the game, and it's a one-time download, and it basically saves money for the people who are developing it, such as the developers who are like from Capcom or I don't know, Konami or whatever studio that you guys would think of that would use this. It actually saves them money because they don't actually need to put a physical chip in there. They only need to put the actual code that's attached to the chip. Is a lot cheaper on their end. But the thing is, this is a game key card invention that Nintendo did, potentially to say, hey, we're going to be the last bastion of video games that promote physical media, but in actuality, this is not the case. It's because game keycards aren't actually the game itself. It's because if you don't have internet connection, you're basically straight out of luck. And this is basically the game keycard. You put it in, it downloads the game. And what happens if you don't have internet? What happens if for some reason your Switch is bricked or something like that? You don't have access to it, and the actual physical enjoyers would not have access to the actual games because they don't actually have the game in there. And when you buy the game, it has the actual label on the bottom saying that it is a game key card and you need internet in order to download it. But recently, Nintendo put out a survey. This is from Genki Japan. On X, they put out a survey. Basically, if you go online to the link, you actually talk about whether or not you like this, whether or not the game key cards, right over here. I strongly prefer physical game key cards, or in general, when it comes to games for a Nintendo Switch system, do you prefer purchasing games in a physical format or digital? I think a lot of people are okay with digitals because it's more convenient. You don't have to go out. You don't have to drive out 10, 15 minutes to get a physical version, and sometimes it might not even be there. I remember when the Marvel vs. Capcom collection came out, the Fightings collection for Switch, I wanted a physical version. I went to a GameStop and they were all sold out. So buying it online is a lot easier. But the thing is, there are many instances online where a game is either been delisted or they no longer support it, or they just completely removed it from the eShop or whatever. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was a prime example back in 2013, sorry. They removed it and they delisted it from the eShops, from the online stores, and if you don't have the game, you cannot buy the game on the store, and in order for you to get it physically, it's going to be extremely expensive. So this is a survey talking about whether people prefer purchasing games in a digital or physical format. Game key cards is a, I guess, happy medium. Technically, you have a cart, but the game isn't actually installed into the cart itself. But if you're talking about, I guess you would say studios, there are a couple of studios that are saying that we prefer the game key card route is because it actually saves us money in the long run. And the thing is, many of the games that are installed onto these game key cards are under 64 gigs. And I don't know why, but CD Projekt Red was able to do it with Cyberpunk, so I don't know what the issue is. Maybe these people just want to save money in the long run and don't really care about physical media enjoyers and physical media collectors. So here's another one here. For which of the following reasons would you consider purchasing physical versions of Nintendo Switch games? Please select up to 3 from the following list. There are certain Nintendo franchises that I tend to want on physical versions. Here's the thing. Whenever I buy a game I like it and I want to support the company, I buy a physical version of the game, right? I knew that I wanted a physical version of Donkey Kong Bonanza right over here. And on the bottom does not say game key card. So this is an actual physical version of the game. I could lend this to my brother, my sister, my family, friends, or whatever, and they can play the game without having to go online or requiring a internet access. And another game is this game right over here. This is Dead or Alive Extreme, and this is Venus Vacation. This is I guess you would say a Gooner game. And we were not able to get this game here in the States. And it's just, you can't even get it online. So I had to go onto the internet and go on to Play Asia and purchase it and have them ship it here, which was cost a lot more than I thought it was. But I have the physical version of the game. And the thing is that this is not available in my country, so I cannot buy the game. So I bought a physical version. Same thing with Stellar Blade. I loved the game. I bought it digitally, and I also double dipped and bought a physical version. Same thing with Black Myth Wukong. If I really like the game, I buy the physical version of it, is because what happens down the road? What happens if the platform no longer supports it, or if a game doesn't do well or something like that, and they just completely delist the game, is because sometimes these game companies cycle in games that are popular, and if they're not popular, they delist them. So if I have a physical version of the game, I don't have to worry. But game key cards aren't that. It's because you require an internet connection. So I was like, hey, let's go ahead and fill out the survey. And lo and behold, after a day, sorry, the survey is currently not active. So I don't have access to it anymore. I believe a lot of people online are actually submitting the survey saying that they do not like digital copies. I think a lot of people prefer physical copies because of actual owning your product, owning the actual game itself, is because the reason why people went digital is because it's to save money. They want to save money on the box, the boxes or whatever, right? Donkey Kong Bonanza, the box art, no magazine, nothing. Here's my receipt. No magazine, not a magazine, but no manual, nothing. Back in the day when you buy a game, it comes with like crazy box art, moves that you can use. I remember buying Killer Instinct for the Super Nintendo, and it actually shows you how to do some of the your finishers and the ultra combos in there before any of these like tips and tricks or guide videos came out. This was back in the early 90s. So this is sort of fucked up. I don't have the ability to actually voice my concern, but I wonder if Nintendo only wanted to put this up for 24 hours is because, okay, we have enough feedback from the fans, from Nintendo, enjoyers, or people just who are just gamers in general. Now that we don't have the survey, I'm not sure if this is because of, hey, we don't want to hear it, is because the survey is not going in our favor, or is it because, hey, we only wanted it up for 24 hours and they're going to take our concerns and our opinions into consideration. But I don't know. I'm not sure what Nintendo is, but based off of this, I don't think Nintendo is going to go to the route of, hey, we're actually going to bring back full-on physical editions of the game. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe not. Maybe Nintendo is maybe trying to make the game key cards to have a bigger storage, maybe 128 gigs or something like that. That could be pretty cool. Just double the size. I think that's possible given the fact that our technology has been pretty damn cool. You can get an NVMe SSD with like 4 terabytes for like $300 now. So like if you're not talking about 4 terabytes, you're talking about 128 gigs, which is not a lot. Maybe they can do that, or maybe Nintendo's just trying to be fucking greedy. I don't know. Maybe they don't actually fucking care about their customers. Who knows? But what do you guys think about this? Do you think that Nintendo is actually going to listen to their customers, or do you think Nintendo removed the surveys because they're like, oh shit, we're actually getting the messages and the results that we don't want? Sound on the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe to this channel, and we will see you guys next time.